band.
So those guys will come, and we're going to rehearse, a couple times, and certainly the day before the concert, we're going to rehearse all day.
Right.
It's going to be total immersion.
Cool.
And we'll just hash through about 3 basic charts, and you'll be able to be tutored and mentored by a group of guys that actually were in the Count Basie band to play that style. Then we're going to have maybe we'll probably play have people back up the whole band back up Bobby Floyd on Amazing Grace, which will be pretty incredible for everybody. And maybe we'll end up with the Saints and get everybody to play a little bit of Saints Go Marching in. So that's an experience for those people. It's something that the audience will experience. The first half be Byron Stripling Quartet playing all kind of crazy stuff, and then second half they'll get to experience the community band. It's almost like the Harmony Project for big band.
Right, right.
So it'll be really cool.
So that will be, just wanted to make sure I had the date.
I think it's the 29th.
Yep, Thursday the 29th.
Yeah.
And that'll be at the Lincoln Theater,
yes,
right here,
yes.
Where our office is and where our Jazz Academy is located. And, the thing about that one that's so fun is that there's a real positive energy. You've come off the holidays. It seems like everybody's looking for just a little something to kickstart them into the new year. And I know that's it's maybe cliche, but it definitely has that atmosphere. So if you're out there looking for something to do, I would definitely recommend.
You know what else is good about that? You get away from the table and the food.
That's right.
Because if you're like me, you just when the holidays, you say, well, I'm definitely going to gain 5 pounds.
Right.
So you get away from that. And honestly, you get away from the TV and from your internet.
Right.
And you actually get there's something special, Zach, about a concert experience when you're away from your phone and all that stuff and you're just interacting. It's from the audience to the musicians and the people on stage.
Yep.
And that back and forth that occurs, and it's happening less and less. But I just want to offer to people, it's like a chance to get into another zone in your head. And if we do our job, and I promise you we'll give you our best, I think you'll leave with a good feeling after that. And it's a perfect way to start, sort of reminisce about the past year, to begin your new year with a bang.
Absolutely. And if you're anything like me, when you go back home or you go wherever you go for the holidays, there's this like perpetual buffet thing where it's like on the counter is a plate of whatever. It could be 4 days old now, but it's there. And you just sort of set up perch yourself by it.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't realize how much you're eating in the matter of a week. Well, I can't wait for this stretch of shows and events.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. And the weather hasn't even really changed yet. That's what's bizarre, is that it's almost Thanksgiving and all these events.
Mother Nature has a thing for us. It'll happen. It'll just be cold one day and we'll all freak.
That's right. Well, give me your 20-second view of the rest of the season, and just give me your hopes for the new year as we look ahead. Once we round this corner, what are we in for?
So, I mentioned we're going to do this Ella Fitzgerald tribute. Ella Fitzgerald would have been 100 years old in 2017. So we're really going to begin 2017 season with that. And we're excited to have Marva Hicks and Nikki Perrott. You need 2 vocalists to do what Ella did as one lady. So we're excited about that, and we know that people have been doing a similar show around the country, and people have been going crazy over it. I was just in Jacksonville, Florida, and we did 3 shows there, and people really love it. I'm excited about that one. Then we're going to a show we called Cab Calloway, Lionel Hampton, and the Big Band Explosion.
Wow.
And there's that period when big bands in the 40s were really the king.
Right.
And you had people like Harry James, Benny Goodman, and Duke Ellington Band really turning people out. There was a guy I met years ago in Germany. He said, I was in the war. And he kind of looked at me like, the war. He says, and I came out and I heard Glenn Miller playing In the Mood. And he says, I was real depressed and I lost a lot of my family. And I heard In the Mood. This was a touching story. The guy started crying. He said, if music can be this great, then life must be worth living.
Right. Wow.
That's the power of what big bands did to people during that era.
Yep.
Because that music hypnotized people. So we're going to capture some of the spirit of the big band era. Look at what Cab Calloway was doing. Look what Lionel Hampton was doing. We have a great vibraphonist named Warren Wolf, who will be joining us. Just come. Just trust me on this. He is amazing. Harry Allen will be on sax. another one. Just come experience some new musicians. No vocals on this concert. Maybe I'll sing a Cab Calloway tune or something.
We got to hear a little of that.
You'll hear a Heidi Ho, a little bit of that. But now, do you take some of these soloists into the schools?
Yeah. So this is actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So this is the first season that every Columbus Jazz Orchestra performance has at least one of the guest artists doing 2 different school visits while they're here. So for this last show, we had Jamison Ross, and we went to Fort Hays High School.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that one in particular was really cool. Jamison had such a wonderful way of connecting.
Did he play or sing for them?
He played, and then he even did this crazy thing where he played a little drum roll, a little geeky drum thing called a 5-stroke roll on a stool for 5 minutes. Set an alarm clock, because he wanted the students to feel what it feels like to only focus on one thing for a literal 5 minutes. And it was kind of, people were laughing at the beginning, but by the middle of this, they were like entranced in his little 5-stroke roll exercise. Yeah. So, but not only that, he talked about the industry, and he talked about, his decision to go into music school and everything that is so relevant to young people, musicians or not, really. But every show that we do this year, we're going to take Carly into a couple schools in December, and then from there on out, we're going to take all the artists into schools. We're doing that with our Jag Presents series, the smaller group shows, and so we're really fortunate. We've got State Auto Insurance as the sponsor, helping us get these artists out into the schools and make a difference that way.
I think it's good that people know that, because you not only our audience not only gets to experience the power of these great guest artists, but kids can see people that are actively engaged in a career in music, and they get what music can do for you. Again, not only just as if you want to do it as a career, but the power of music to change people's lives.
Yep. And one little secret addition to that is going to be Aldo. We're going to take him into 2 schools while he's here next week. So we can't wait to show the students somebody that is a classically and jazz trained Cuban pianist has got so much to it that I think can inspire our students.
Oh, they're going to love him.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking the time with us. This has been great talking to you, and we can't wait for this stretch of amazing concerts and then what we have in store for us in 2017.
We look forward to it, Zach. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Byron.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Jazz Scene. We want to hear your feedback. Visit our website, www.jazzartsgroup.org/thejazzscene, and be sure to subscribe on iTunes and leave us your review. Thanks to our recording engineer, Nick Fields. The theme music is by Michael Cox, and funding for The Jazz Scene is provided by the Jazz Arts Group of Columbus. I'm Zach Compston, and we hope you catch our next episode of The Jazz Scene.